Brother and sister, in describing the relationship between God and his people, the Bible very often uses the image of a bridegroom and his bride. God is the bridegroom and Israel is the bride. We have an example of this in the first reading of today. The prophet Isaiah was writing at one of the lowest moments in the history of Israel. At that time, Jerusalem was laying in ruins, and his people experienced deportation in Babylon. Israel, once God's bride, was like a widow dispossessed of her children. But the prophet had a message of hope for his people. God, the husband, has not forgotten them. There will be a new wedding feast. Then we know that this promise was fulfilled at the time of the return from exile, but more especially in the coming of Jesus, the Messiah. So it is obvious that the first reading, the prophecy of Isaiah, set the stage for the story of the wedding feast in Cana. But we should not take the miracle of Cana too literally. Jesus did not come on earth to change water into wine. We already know how to make that happen. It happens every day in our wineries all around the world. So the miracle performed here has a deeper and a broader meaning, one valid for all time. The Cana miracle, first of all, symbolizes what Jesus was about. The changing of water into wine is the symbol of what Jesus is about in our daily life. He changed beyond recognition the lives of those who approach him, the life of those who came into contact with him. What Jesus did at Cana was not a once-off thing. It happened throughout the whole of his ministry. The Gospels are full of examples about that. So once again, Jesus presents change beyond recognition the life of those he met. Example, for sinners, he changed separation from God into friendship with God. For the widow of Naim who lost her son, he changed tears into joy. For Zacchaeus, he changed selfishness into love. For the thief on Calvary, he changed despair into hope. For his disciple, he changed their hesitation, their fear, their lack of faith into courageous witnessing. Then the most important of all, on Easter morning, he changed death into life. So it will not be different for us if we come to a direct and intimate contact with Jesus, because he continues until now to do this for those who believe in him, for all those who follow him. He transforms our life. He offers us something we pine for, but cannot achieve on our own, namely a share in the life of God. We know that material things are not enough. Jesus brings another dimension of life. He brings a joy that the world cannot give. At the miracle of Cana, Jesus asked the servants to draw out the water that had turned into wine and to take it to the steward. The water of selfishness turned into water of true love was not mean just for the married couple, but also for everyone. Jesus used always human intermediaries to convey and to grant his gift. Jesus asked us to share with others the gift he has shared with us. St. Paul, in the second reading of today, says that gifts are for the service of all. Though there are many charisms or spiritual gifts, all come from the same Spirit, and all should be used for the building up of the community. Brother and sister, this is what we experience more and more in our community, and we thank God for it. In our different services to the community, what we are doing is what the servants did at Cana. As the servant delivered the water, something they did not expect happened. It turned into wine for those who receive it. The same thing can happen for us if we do the kind deed. The ordinary can become extraordinary. The small can become big. A simple act of kindness to a neighbor can result in healing and renewal. It becomes more than itself. It is transformed into something else for the receiver, into something beautiful and joyful. Brother and sister, the miracle of Cana is the miracle of Christian life, of Christian witnessing, which can transform the whole world. It is the miracle of the Christian unity that Jesus dreamed for all his followers, for all those who believe in him. May God bless each one of us. Amen.